All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Crown Council Live. I am Stuart Anderson. This is our weekly live broadcast to the Crown Council membership. Grateful that you would either join us live or recorded. Either way, obviously doesn't works. Doesn't matter which one you join. We're just thankful to connect with our community. Thankful to hear the stories from our members, our resource partners, and everything that is happening live at the Crown Council. So thankful for everybody joining us, for everybody watching. We are super excited to have. We're gonna have a live guest on today, and then a few recorded segments that we did, interviews with practices around the country. I wanted to share my screen real quick. We actually do have some really fun things that are happening this week. Have a new humanitarian trip that is going off this weekend, and one of the funnest things, the best things about Crown Council is that we have constantly planned humanitarian trips for you and your practice. And if you go to crowncouncil.com, this is one way that your practice can participate in building your culture together, as well as going on a camping experience, doing something incredible together. The humanitarian trips that we host and run through the Smiles for Life Foundation are such a fun and exciting way for your team to do something different, to work outside the practice. You're also, working on the practice, but you're also doing good together. This is crowncouncil.com, and in my directory, and you should see it in your directory. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see the Smiles for Life Foundation. And there's multiple ways that you can participate in the Smiles for Life Foundation: whitening campaign, humanitarian trips, Rivers for Hope, clear aligners. So if you want to participate in a humanitarian trip, this is our information here. The overview of when we're going, where we're going, what it is like when you go on a trip, and then obviously to register. So all the details that you would need to register your team, to pay the deposit to be there, our dates for upcoming trips. So this trip that's happening this weekend, they're going to Mexico, a new place. So it's going to be very exciting to see the pictures, to hear the stories, and hear about what's going to happen on that humanitarian trip. So super fun. I have been on many of these. Our Crown Council team always participates in these humanitarian trips. And then a Crown Council member is kind of the leader, the host of the trip. So a Crown Council doctor and team is in charge of the trip, and they watch over everybody on it. So on this webpage, we have put everything that hopefully you would ever need to know about the Dominican Republic, about Guatemala. If you're leading the trip, we created a leadership training video series that you can watch to see what it's like to lead a trip, packing, what you take on the trip, how it works. So we've got this pretty dialed in. You don't have to figure this out on your own. If you want to participate in a humanitarian trip, we have it figured out for you, and we would love to have you participate. So please let us know. Obviously, there's some trips here that are still available. Next March, 2025, next March to the Dominican, so to Mexico, to the Dominican, and then again in the Dominican in November 2025. So we're looking forward to hearing from our humanitarians leaving this week. And we're excited to host a whole new team of Crown Council members in Mexico. All right. Let's bring Morgan in. I think Morgan's in the waiting room. Morgan is from Rectangle Health. We're grateful to have her with us. I'll do a little introduction to Morgan as she joins us. I want to make sure that she hears me when I bring her in. Uh, so, hey, Morgan, how are you?
Good. How are you, Stuart?
I am very good. Welcome to Crown Council Live. I was just saying, your first experience on the show, so we're grateful to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. I feel like a celebrity. This is
Yes.
great.
Um, we are going to talk today about Rectangle Health, about some of the things that you do, some of the things that are happening that you're seeing trending in dentistry. But before we do that, will you introduce yourself? I want Crown Council members to know who you are, maybe a little bit about your background. Is that okay?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Maxwell. I'm a partner alliance manager here at Rectangle Health. So I specialize in our partnerships, like those that we have, like this one that we have with Crown Council. I've been in partnerships for several years now. I've been with Rectangle Health for about 18 months. And I'm really enjoying working in the healthcare space, especially the digital space. There's just so much growing and innovation happening. So I'm very happy to be here.
Morgan, I have a very interesting addition to our live stream right now. My wife was in my office yesterday and she left her glasses in my office. Look at us. We're twins.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, they're almost the
Just
exact
kidding. These are
same.
prescriptions, though. I cannot keep those on. Those are wrecking my house. So very good. Hey, Morgan, where are you today? Where? Remind me where you are.
Reporting live from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, Raleigh, North Carolina. Very good. Um, I am going to navigate real quick. I'm going to share my screen. I know that we talked yesterday about your web page and everything that's on the crowncouncil.com website. But I think it's fun. I'm just going to do a brief recap here for everybody. So any Crown Council member can go to crowncouncil.com, and in your directory on the top here on crowncouncil.com, you'll see a list of what we call, these are hubs is what I call them. And in your hub, you'll see a list of resource partners. And for us, the Resource Partner Hub is a way where we push Crown Council members to this page so you can connect with resource partners. We'll post clips from live streams here. We'll post if there's deals or offers or things that are happening. So if Rectangle Health has something that's going on after we have Morgan on the live stream today, this is where we're going to post it. This is where we're going to share the link. And this is how we hope you communicate with the resource partners of the Crown Council. One of the easiest ways to find somebody is to obviously type in a search and look for the specific name of a resource partner. So this is Rectangle Health. It's very simple, really easy landing page. And I think we're going to talk about a little bit more about this little link. But Rectangle's even built a landing page for Crown Council members to engage and connect with Morgan and find out more when it comes time to becoming a client or learning more about what Rectangle Health does. So this is just as a reminder, we're constantly seeing on the email network, hey, is so-and-so a resource partner? How do I get in touch with so-and-so as a resource partner? This is the best place to go. Or just the chat right here. Talk to a Crown Council team member. We're always happy to chat away. So very good. All right, cool. Morgan, as just a launching point, will you tell everybody who doesn't know what Rectangle Health does, little elevator speech if we were stuck in an elevator together? Morgan, what do you do for work? What does Rectangle Health do?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
So, Rectangle Health, we are an industry leader when it comes to healthcare technology. We aim to be everything your PM system is not. So, we are processing payments, we are offering financing. We have a HIPAA and OSHA compliance module, gets you updated on your CE credits. We have a huge library of CE that comes with our compliance offering. And we also have a patient engagement feature. So think scheduling, waitlist management, reputation management, making sure that if someone leaves you a good review on Google or Yelp, we're pushing it out so that other people see it. So really anything within those three categories, we are here to take the reins on.
Very good. And I know that like most resource partners in the Crown Council, when the membership talks about a product or talks about some, that is usually where a resource partner comes from, is multiple practices on the email network or at our meetings say, I'm using this service, we are using this service, and it is incredible. That is how we were introduced to Rectangle Health, as well as your HIPAA compliance tool. Was multiple Crown Council members were saying, we're using this, and as a way, a turnkey product, a turnkey resource, Rectangle Health is because you guys have been with us now for 3 or 4 years, which we're super grateful for. One thing that Steve and I, Steve often shares from the annual event stage is resource partners have an incredible opportunity to speak with multiple practices from across the country. You guys are seeing trends. You guys are seeing things that are happening across the industry. Morgan's come prepared. Can you talk about some trends that you are seeing in the market that you are part of? What are some things that could be helpful to Crown Council members that maybe they're missing or not seeing?
Absolutely, Stuart. And a lot of us here today are in a unique position where we are kind of seeing both sides of this overarching, these overarching issues that we have. So while we are talking to a lot of practitioners, we are also ourselves, we are patients, whether it's in the dental field or just for your GP or your orthopedic surgeon, whoever it may be. We are getting to see the real issues that patients are facing as well as providers. So I want to kind of break this down into a couple different segments. The first being the patients. What we're seeing is patients are shopping their healthcare in a way that they've never shopped their healthcare before. They are depending on what kind of technology these offices are using to make them their lives easier so that we are meeting them where they are. We are seeing patient loyalty via technology. We are busy people. All of us as patients are busy people. We need to know that our doctors can shoot us a text to remind us. I don't want to get a phone call. I mean, if I'm sitting here doing this live stream and my dentist calls me, I'm not going to answer it. I would much prefer a text. And we know that texts are opened at a much higher percentage anyway. We have a 98% text open rate. We are also seeing that when it comes to payments, you want to be able to pay things easier. Most people want to pay their bill. They just do. It's inherent human nature. But if you're sending out paper statements that don't give someone multiple ways to pay, they're less likely to pay. I have one right now I just mentioned an orthopedic surgeon. I had surgery on my hand 3 years ago. I still have $70 I owe them. They want me to write them a check. I don't own checks.
Could you send us cash?
So either I need to go down there and give them cash or figure out how to get a check. I don't know how you get a check. I haven't dealt with checks since I paid rent in college. Like, it's been years and years.
Nice.
If they had a link on this bill that they're sending me, or if they texted me and said, hey, you owe this, click this link to pay, it'd be paid immediately. Instead, they're 3 years behind my $70, and they've sent me, I've moved twice. Like, they have had to update my address before they've gotten this payment. So we really want to make sure that we're meeting the patients where they are.
Nice.
Now, for providers on that end of things, we've seen a lot of staffing issues. Retaining talent, making sure that your staff is there and doing what they were hired to do. No one gets into healthcare to stuff an envelope. If they wanted to stuff an envelope, they'd go work at the post office. They are here to help patients. So let's make their jobs easier. Instead of having to call every single patient you've got this week and say, hey, just a reminder, this is your appointment time. We'd love to see you. And then that potentially spiraling into I totally forgot I have a meeting and I can't make it. Can we reschedule? Now that's a 10-minute phone conversation trying to reschedule this patient, when in reality, the office manager can press one button and send a text to all 45 patients they have that week that says, this is your appointment time. We'd love to see you. Can't wait to see you. Then we can add on top of that. Let's say they've got a balance. Let's say they owe $70 to their orthopedic surgeon. I can then get a text that says, I have a follow-up on Wednesday. I owe this amount. I can click here to pay. And by the way, your copay is going to be $30. Do you want to go ahead and take care of that? Now, before I have even entered the practice, you have taken care of my balance, reminded me that I have an appointment, and received the payment for my copay.
Nice.
So really just simplifying that tech stack, making sure that you are using the tools for your staff so that they can do what they're coming into work every day, pumped and excited and passionate to do.
Very cool. I love that. Very good. Anything else? Is that good? Those are the trends?
I think those are the trends. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So if you are practicing, you're looking to update, I don't know if you want to remove yourself from Rectangle Health in general and just say, you're a dentist. I'm looking to update technology stack. What advice would you give to dentists who are trying to make that choice, or teams that are trying to update the technology in their practice? What kind of advice are you giving there?
Yeah, and I will remove myself from Rectangle Health for this kind of piece of it, because there are really 4 things you need to be looking for regardless of if you're looking at us as Rectangle Health or if you're looking at one of the other vendors that you're vetting. So the first thing you need to look for is, have they done this? We have seen a huge surge in new technology lately. It's great. We love to see it. It pushes us to be a better company. It pushes innovation. It's good for the open market. But with that is a lot of new companies. You need to make sure they've done this before and they're healthcare specific, because there are a lot of things that we deal with in the healthcare space that, soda box that gets me my Diet Coke every day is not dealing with. They don't have to have HIPAA or OSHA compliant, or I guess they have to have OSHA, but they don't have to have HIPAA compliance because they're not dealing with patient information. So you want to make sure they're healthcare specific, and you want to make sure that they've been in the space for a long enough time that they know what they're doing. Number two, are they compliant? We've got HIPAA compliance, OSHA compliance, PCI compliance is huge. That popped up in the past just over a decade or so. You want to make sure that all the information you're taking is safe, it is safeguarded, and your PCI compliance, that piece that basically says we are protecting any credit card information we get, is in place, because you can get slapped with humongous fines and your information can get out. Like, that's, nobody wants that. That's going to cause a reputation issue. That's going to cause there's going to be a financial piece, and your patients are going to be at risk. Third thing you want to ask is, do they do everything the PM system doesn't? So you've got all these vendor choices that are filling the gaps of what the PM system doesn't do. They don't do everything for a reason. They have their hands full with their software updates, their operational updates. So you want someone else to come in and fill those gaps, which brings me to the fourth point is, can they integrate to your system? If they can't integrate, then it's not really worth it. It's just going to be adding more work for the staff. You don't want to have to open 15 different applications and go through 15 different systems just to get out what you should be able to do through an integrated system into your PM system, where you can just push a button and it takes care of it for you.
Nice. I love
so
that.
Those are the top four that you should be really looking for.
Very cool. Very smart. It is one of those things in like in dentistry, it's like, well, we have to be making this change. We have to be updating technology. So great advice from somebody on the inside. When it comes to Rectangle Health, we've been partners for a long time. Can you talk about what makes you guys different? Why would somebody choose Rectangle Health? What are you doing for Crown Council members that might be different from other companies in the same arena?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So I want to start off by saying there's a ton of really great vendors. Go see their demos. You're going to come back to us because we're truly the best. I believe that. It's not just because I work here. The major differentiator is we are consolidating three major pieces of the patient journey. We are going to take care of your compliance. We are going to take care of the technology on the consumer side. So think that text to pay, your reminders, your reputation management, your waitlist management, your scheduling. And then we're also going to process and integrate that payment. So when someone makes a payment, it gets posted straight back to your ledger. You're not having to manually do it that. So we really can cut out a minimum of 3 other vendors. And what that really looks like is, you have 3 less contacts. There are 3 less bills you're paying. There are 3 less customer service numbers that you have to keep up with, because you can call us, and whether it's an issue with your compliance, your payments, your engagement, if you want to offer financing, you can call one number and say, hey, this is what I want to do, and we can take care of it. So we've been dental only since 1993. We've been in the business a long time. That's quite frankly older than I am, is how long we've been doing this.
I don't know. Did you say 93? 1993?
1993.
Nice. Awesome.
And when you see other companies in the space, you're going to start to realize that's a really long time. I mean, a lot of companies have just popped up over the past 5-6 years. The fact that we have 31 years under our belt, we know what we're doing. We've been able to sustain our business for this long for a reason.
I love that. When you said 1993, I was like, wait, was that what she meant to say? Very good.
Surprise.
Surprise. Hey, I've already shown your little page. Is that the best? I think that's the best place. Am I wrong? Is this the best place to go? So if you go to Rectangle Health's landing page, is this best to just fill
Yes.
out this? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Very
this
cool.
kind of landing page that we have is absolutely the best way to go. Of course, you've got my contact information in the resource hub. You can shoot me a text, you can shoot me an email. But by filling out this form, we know explicitly you are tied to Crown Council. You get preferential pricing because you're a Crown Council member. So we want to make sure that that gets tagged in the back end so that when a rep reaches out, they know that this is the special pricing you get. This is the part what the partnership looks like. So that's definitely the best, cleanest, easiest way to move forward.
Very good. I love the idea of I mean, cutting vendors not only obviously saves money, saves time, but it's also increasing the patient's, it's making the patient's experience better. In my opinion, which is the goal of Crown Council offices, is how can we make the experience of our patients a better thing that they talk about? And for me, having all of these different technology points coming from one place is just a smart idea. So thank you. All
Of
right.
course.
Do we miss anything? Anything else before you go?
No, I think that's everything. If anyone has any questions, you've got my email, you've got my phone number. Feel free to reach out.
Okay. Thanks, Morgan.
All right.
Grateful to have
Thanks,
you on.
Stuart. It was great. Great speaking with you. Thanks for having me on.
All right. You too. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Very good. Rectangle Health will be at our annual event. We're grateful for them and thankful for all of our resource partners who will be joining us in Frisco. So in Dallas, we're going to be in the 2025 annual event. That's our 30th annual event, the 30th time that the Crown Council members will gather together at an upcoming meeting. I am going to share my screen real quick. We are in full annual event mode is kind of what we call it. And if you go to crowncouncil.com, I know we've been here a few times today. I wanted to share a few things that are happening here with the 30th annual event to not only talk about it, but hopefully to encourage you and your teams to be part of gathering together with some of the best like-minded practices in the industry. You know, we often talk about how Crown Council is a combination of two things. One, culture building tools online, and two, a community that reminds you that you do not practice alone. People that share businesses like Rectangle Health who have already figured out that part of their practice. There are multiple hundreds of different ways that you can feel that you don't practice alone when you connect with the community of the Crown Council. And when we gather at the annual event, it really is like a family coming together, a reunion of sorts. And I wanted to highlight just a few things. When you sign up for the 30th annual event, you are given all of these different things to complete before the annual event. So inside the annual event, it's more than just attending. There are so many awesome things that you get to do before you come. So I want to talk just a little bit about the recognition that can happen. So you can recognize your doctor or your team in our Members' Choice Awards program. So what a fun way for you to nominate team members, nominate your doctor, get them up on stage and let them know how grateful you are for the work that you guys get to do together. So they're very simple little forms. You nominate them. And one of the ones I want to highlight is the Pearl Awards. This is an opportunity. So the 30th annual event or, 30th anniversary, the gift that you give at a 30th anniversary is the Pearl. So we're making this really fun new award. It's an open category for all Crown Council members and doctors. A pearl is categorized by something that is rare, hard to find, singular. They're found one oyster at a time, of high value. So in 500 words or less, help us recognize your doctor or team member with a Pearl Award. These will recognize someone who has had a significant influence on the success of your practice or a personal success in their own private life. So if there's a team member or a doctor, somebody that you're like, hey, they need recognition for doing an Ironman. They need recognition for, I don't know, any number of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, well, this is the team member of the year. Maybe they were your charity champion for Smiles for Life or ran some sort of special project in the practice or at the local school. But what a fun way to recognize them at our Pearl Awards. So please do that. We are going to continue to post things here about the updated agenda for the annual event. So more than anything, we are going to continue to talk about the fun things that are going to be happening. And you can see those over here with the overall event schedule. So the check-in experience is going to be incredible. It's not just like getting your name tag and getting a badge. We're going to have games, prizes, pictures. There's a golf tournament on Thursday that we hope. I mean, we're going to a PGA golf course. So hopefully if you golf, we would love to have you participate in that. And here's the agenda for the rest of the annual event, which we are going to continue to update and make better. So finally, I wanted to highlight some of our speakers. And the reason I'm doing this is today we're actually talking to two of our speakers. As soon as the live stream is over, we're going to interview them and talk to them. One of them is Travis Mills. He'll be our kickoff speaker, a retired United States Army Staff Sergeant, and he is one of very few who all four of his limbs were removed because of the service that he gave. And he talks about obviously never giving up, never quitting, what it was like to lose portions of both his arms and his legs. A super motivational and inspiring speaker who will not talk about dentistry. Is kind of why the Crown Council annual event is so unique. And then when he sits down, we'll have an opportunity to apply and look at ways that your practice can take home the things that he teaches. Brittany Hodak, we talked to her a couple days ago about what she's going to be speaking at the annual event. So cool. Her topic is how do you create super fans? So not just a patient, but people who will leave your practice and will be raving about what you do. So we talked all about her. She has so much content, so much take-home content that we're looking forward to. Very incredible speaker that we found with Brittany. And then you see Dan Heath. He's going to spend his third time on the Crown Council stage with an all-new book. And we are excited to have Dan, excited to have him teach his new book to us, as well as Steve to denticize is the word we're using. The things that Dan teaches about finding problems, finding challenges, and fixing them before they happen. So super grateful for him. We're also going to be talking about Justin Wren today at 1 o'clock. He's our newest annual event speaker that we just booked. As you can see, full of energy. This guy, Rachel found him, just loves his story. You might have seen, he's kind of a borderline famous in the mixed martial arts world, but then also he has moved into the humanitarian space. And we are going to talk, he is going to talk to us and share his story about being in the humanitarian space, what he's learned about connecting with other people, and just his, as it says here, remarkable personal journey from very humble beginnings in Texas and what shaped his life and what he's doing now. So 4 incredible speakers, which will each, you can go home with our help to take their messages and apply them to your dental practice, which is one of the neatest parts about being at the annual event. All right, one last thing I want to highlight. I think it's Saturday. No, it's going to be Friday night. There's not much here on this website, but hopefully you've seen our mailer, and hopefully we've posted enough about it. But we are going to be doing a Ken and Barbie night on Friday. So you're going to be coming dressed as your favorite Ken and Barbie character as we celebrate. It'll be a bit of a celebration there for Smiles for Life, but also entertainment, and then coming dressed. And trust me when I say that if you think that you're too cool to dress up like Ken and Barbie, you will be the odd man out. Everybody will be dressed up. So hopefully you're getting your costumes ready and preparing to be like Barbie and Ken. All right. I've got an interview that we did with Alaska Premier Dental with some of our coaches. I love this practice. We're so grateful for them for being a huge part of the Crown Council and what they've been able to share as leaders in our group. So I'm going to share my sound, share my screen, and this is a little interview that we did with Alaska Premier Dental. All right, welcome. All right, this is a recorded segment for our live stream, although we're only 30 minutes before the live stream, so it's technically, I mean, we're as close to live as you could possibly get. So joining us from Alaska, where they say it's still dark. What time is it in Alaska?
Yeah. 8:30.
It's 8:30.
It looks like 8:30 at night, though. Yeah.
Very good. Chris, will you please introduce who you are with?
Absolutely. We have our awesome doctors from Alaska Premier Dental Group, our owner doctors. This is Dr. Brian, Dr. Brian Wachowski. I can't look at the computer while I'm doing this, as well as Dr. Clark Basham. And we have been working together with these awesome guys for about 13 years now.
Yeah.
And their team, and even trekking through snow, sleet, and everything else. We get together a few times a year to really focus on how we can uplift the team, really get their top skills in alignment and support them so that they have success with their patients every day.
Nice. Very good. And then, hi, Pam. How are you?
Hey, Stu, I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
Very good. I'm glad you're here.
Pam.
Sorry, Pam. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it would be really fun to hear from the two doctors. What have been the two biggest challenges that you guys have seen in the last year, and how have you worked on them?
We know that doctors go through a lot of challenges off and on, all the time. That's why Pam and I have a job. And could you share some successes that have happened over the last couple of months when we've honed in on what to do with the team and their skills and things that we've been working on consistently?
I mean, both of them, I like that you changed that because both of them, they reek optimism.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Go ahead. Something that I think about, that the word that you guys talk about, entropy, the natural entropy. And over the last couple of years, that entropy has just been accelerated by a number of factors outside of all of our control.
Sure.
Right. And so I think having amazing coaches like Pam and Chris working with us to try and manage that entropy and the accelerated entropy has been just necessary. Everything from the mental fortitude to the hard practice skills to the systems, implementing systems and making sure existing systems are being followed and honored. That's been invaluable over the last few years.
Yep, definitely. And a part of that too is we had a change in leadership, and with that change in leadership, we changed the structure of our leadership. And so that has been key, with you helping us implement that and bringing it all together. And it's been a great move for us.
Nice. I can't wait to name this segment, They Reek Optimism.
You're making that a t-shirt.
T-shirt. Clark. That's good. Hey, maybe Chris and Pam and doctors too. What is it? Maybe 2 or 3 secrets or keys that you guys do to have such a strong team culture. How do you make sure that your team is strong? We handed the Team of the Year award to this team for the humanitarian work that they did last year. So they received the Humanitarian Team of the Year at the annual event. I know that's a big part of what you do, doing good. But what else? What else are you guys committed to make sure your team and culture is strong?
Can I share one thing, Chris? And then I'll head to you. So for me, where we first start is it starts with the leadership, partnering with doctors that care about their team, make the investment in them so that they can perform at their best, so that they don't just throw them in and say, okay, figure it out. It's easy to partner and foster the type of culture that they want so that it feels good for them, so that when they're serving patients together, it's a no-brainer that they'll walk home feeling fulfilled. So that's, for me, it starts from the top, really partnering with doctors that care about their team members. So kudos to you both.
Thanks, Pam. And that's what I was going to say too, is that we hold true to our culture and to each other in the same culture, and that helps us along the way and keeps our team strong in the culture also.
Nice. Very cool.
You said it better.
Chris, what will you guys work on today? What is it that you've got on your calendar, on your agenda?
Well, because we did Uber Focus on Tuesday as a whole organization, the team mapped out some wildly important goals. And Pam and I separate and conquer, where we take what they committed to and we will work side by side, one-on-one with team members so that they can feel success in how they're completing the goals that they set. We'll be working on things like how to link better with patients, how to make sure that every patient goes home with a clear picture of what they want and how we're going to help them get what they said they wanted, with their financial arrangements, everything in alignment. Because the team really wants to feel like every patient they touch and connect with gets what they want, which is everything and beyond their smile. Here.
Very cool.
So,
Nice.
that you could add to.
Nope, couldn't have said it better myself.
Very
Yes,
cool.
that's our biggest focus today.
Nice.
And
Hey,
it's
a lot-
a plan where it's going to hold all the team accountable for what we're trying to accomplish. So it's great.
And then how often are you guys meeting? How often do you do this? As Pam and Chris mentioned, maybe a couple times a year. Is that necessary for the entropy?
Ah,
At a minimum.
yeah.
Should be every other week.
We joke that, we should have shirts that say we kick entropy's tail.
Yes.
Get in there and that's the goal. So
Very
it doesn't keep showing its ugly head. We gotta get in there and stir things up and help that entropy get out of the way.
And you
Absolutely.
check in with us and our leadership once a month. So
I love, he's getting major points right now.
He is. Cadence of accountability. Yeah, it doesn't have, there has to be a cadence in place. And so thank you for saying that. I forgot about that.
Well, and these doctors have done a really great thing where we've been able to partner together with them, and they've put leaders on their team that they've helped develop, and the leads have just really been soaking it in and being better leaders. And so they're in a position to lead their team. And that's what's helped us partner together and really map out how we can get a cadence of accountability and rely on the team to also be self-led with.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Last but not least, you hear a word that's being hurled around is leaders. That's what they refer to their team as. There's no management here. We manage things and we lead people. And so both of these wonderful doctors sitting next to me are big components of fostering leadership and not management.
Yeah. Hey, well, there are leaders in the Crown Council membership. They've been a focus of our awards program, our Mentor of the Month program. I mean, everybody looks to this awesome team to set the standard when it comes to giving, to leadership, humanitarian work. So we're so grateful for you guys and thankful for all that you offer to the membership. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
too, Stu.
We wish we could be in front of the window where you could see all the snow, but again.
We'll imagine it. Hey, it's dumping here in Salt Lake. We're going to see it.
Stu has his own.
That's right.
Cool. Hey, thanks so much, you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So good to hear from that practice. Thankful for their constant influence, like I said, their constant example in everything that we do. And just grateful to be with them and looking forward to having them with us at the Crown Council annual event and being together. So, all right, we've got about 20 minutes left. I have a 15-minute interview I did with some of my most favorite people, and you'll see that because we've enjoyed some of the best humanitarian trips together. And I'll just play my recorded video here, my recorded interview with the Bainers. I'm grateful for them and thankful for their example and influence in my life, and you'll kind of see that in this little interview. So enjoy. All right, welcome to Crown Council's live stream, although this is a recorded session, which is it's still just as good, right? We're good. Hey, so I am joined today by Lynn and Dale. Before we got on, I called them Crown Council's most prolific humanitarians, which I believe is true. You've been on, according to my accounts, 12 different humanitarian trips with Crown Council. Is that correct?
I'm 13.
Lynn's 13,
Oh,
I'm 12. Yeah.
Okay, look at Lynn. She's kind of smiling at that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Will you introduce yourselves and just let the rest of the Crown Council, if they don't know, who you are?
Well, I'm Dale Boehner, and this is my wife, Lynn.
And where are you guys coming from today?
We live in central Indiana, just north of Indianapolis.
Very good. And that is not a blanket on Dale's lap. That is a puppy.
That is our little, very, very much needful Maltese who thinks he's a member of the household that runs everything.
He is. Good boy.
Pretty much it does, actually.
If you were at the annual event last year, the Boehners received a humanitarian award for all of their work and service that they've done as part of trips. And we have been on, I've been on 6 humanitarian trips, and I believe all of them but one have been with you guys. I mean, we have been on, we're always together in that fun fall trip. So I'm grateful for our time spent. They just returned from the Dominican with our trip that went with Spencer, right? You were with Spencer.
No, Joey.
You were with Joey. You were the trip
Joey.
before. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys went on the earlier trip,
Yeah.
and we thought it'd be fun to not only talk about that experience, but why humanitarian work has been such a big part of their lives and how it's affected them and what they've learned. So can we talk about that? Why? Let's start there. Why are these yearly humanitarian trips so meaningful? Why is it something that you've chosen to do?
Well, I'll start out.
Okay.
Prefacing that by, I was fortunate enough at an early age, right before my senior year in high school, to participate in a humanitarian trip to Honduras, island of Roatan. There was all summer long, every month it would change. There was a group of us, college and high school students, that went down to help rebuild a church that had been destroyed in a hurricane. And after that, I thought, man, that is so cool. I kind of made a promise to myself that, if I'm ever in a position where I can do this again, I will. So fast forward after, getting into dentistry, and then the opportunities arose with the Crown Council. That's awesome. And before I could go, Mary Beth Brown was scheduled to go, and then her partner backed out at the last minute, and so she asked Lynn, and then I'll let Lynn take it from there.
No, it was an opportunity that I'd never been blessed with. And so I asked Dale what his thoughts were on me going, and he said, I don't have the words to tell you, you'll experience it once you get there. And so it literally changed my life. And I think, true enjoyment comes when we align ourselves with God's will. And part of that is by serving. Mm-hmm. And so we've been blessed to make positive impacts on other people's lives by providing care, to those that wouldn't have it necessarily, the access to it. And it not only, helps improve their self-esteem, but it helps them from a personal standpoint and also a professional standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And along that too, we've over the 13 years been blessed with working with great dental teams and made lifelong relationships. And the Esperanza has now become part of our family. We love them. And it's funny, when we go back to some of the villages, the people will remember us and come up to us and thank us. Even though we can't speak the language, we know, what they're saying to us. So it's just been such a blessing to both of us.
I love that. I know Sarah Heap, we interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, and she said when she returns from the Dominican trip, she always has one goal. I'm going to learn Spanish. I got to learn Spanish. And then that doesn't happen, but very good. Hey, well, maybe Dale, can you go first? Some of the biggest lessons you've learned professionally and personally through your service and time on these humanitarian trips.
Well, one of the best lessons that, is self-evident is that, but for the grace of God, we do not choose our birth parents or where we are. And humbling ourselves and leaving egos behind and just simply going with the mindset of, I have a skill I'm willing to share with another human being in need and see what happens. You know, I'll help you. I'm willing to help. I don't expect anything in return, but yet I'm blessed many times over for having had that experience.
I love that. Thanks, Dale. How about you, Lynn?
I think leaving our own comfort zones and being exposed to poverty and hardship truly changes us. These are people just like us who have families, who have needs and want to be loved and cared for and want to serve a purpose. And I'm going to start crying probably, but you know, each time we've gone, each time we've gone over 13 years and going into each of the communities and hearing the associates' stories and how Esperanza has helped them is so inspirational. And, you know, we come back here and we think we have difficult times. You know, you just stop and think about where you've come from. And it, as I said before, it just puts things into perspective. And so it just changes you. It really does.
Yeah, I love that.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Very good. We have a lot of Crown Council members and team members who are signed up in 2023 who have never been on humanitarian trips. Any advice that you'd share with them or someone that's never been before, whether it's how to prepare or what they can expect or what you'd say to a young Dale or Lynn going on their first trip? And any advice you'd give?
Well, I'd say just go with an open mind and an open heart and have, you know, no expectation other than trying to serve in any capacity possible. I mean, you know, from simplest little things of helping organize things and pack up and move and set up. You don't have to actually be a doctor, a nurse, or a physician, or a hygienist. In fact, on Lynn's first trip, she was automatically made an honorary hygienist because they didn't have enough people to clean teeth. So just go with the attitude, you know, I'm here to help, direct me. I am your servant. You tell me what to do. And part of that is beneficial in that you're in a different country with a different culture, and the local people organizing it may have a different way of doing things or the way they want things done. Don't try to instill in them the way you do things at home, because it's not going to work well. It will cause problems and hardships. So be the servant and wait to be instructed on how best you can help serve them.
Great advice. Lynn, anything to add?
I just think respect the people you serve, respect the team that you're with, practice love, celebrate your achievements, keep your expectations low and your acceptance high. And just be thankful to God for the opportunity.
Yeah. No, it's about the people. It's not about the teeth.
It is about the people.
The teeth are important, but it's more important about, you know, the person around it, the teeth.
As Roy always said,
yeah,
it's about the people.
I love that. Very good. You've had an incredible career, Dr. Boehner. I was wondering if, just switching gears just a little bit, to someone starting off dentistry, or if you were entering the dental world now, what advice would you share if there was like a top 3 things that you would do the same or do different? Is there anything that you could share with the rest of the group?
Well, the only regret I have was not running into this organization, which didn't exist then when I first got out of dental school. So, after 10 years in practice and being fortunate enough to interact early on with Walter Haley and Mac Lee and Jolene Jackson and hang out in Hunt, Texas and Kerrville and, plan marketing associates. And, when Steve was still a little bit green behind the ears. And, so basically we're lifers, but I would say throw your ego out the window, forget the scarcity mentality that's prevalent in certain areas of our profession, and develop a strong mastermind network of people that may have skill sets a little different than yours. Figure out what procedures you like to do the most and focus on being the best you can at providing that, and then align yourself with other professionals that can fill in the gap elsewhere. But continuing education, continue to learn and grow, expanding your horizons with associations like the Coys Center, David Hornbrook's courses, Mark Montgomery's, some of the younger guys now like David Rice and his Ignite DDS. These are invaluable resources, but the single most valuable piece to me was developing the mastermind group. I mean, I still share monthly with them, and it's a nice outlet to sound ideas off of your colleagues. And we go about with the understanding that no topic is off limits, but whatever is discussed does not go any further. It's just strictly confidential among our group. And, I just wish that mentality was more prevalent throughout the profession. Hopefully I think it is becoming that way, but especially now with all the changes after COVID and the regulations and things like that, it's invaluable. I, in some aspects, feel that I retired at a most opportune time. That I can enjoy the best of dentistry by giving back with not having the administrative and HR and all the other obligations that come with it. So, I'm actually having more fun now on the back 9
Nice.
or the 18th hole than I did all prior to that. So
It's great to hear. Very good. And anything to add there, Lynn?
No, I think he covered it all. I just think, you need to set goals, seek out mentors. I think the Crown Council, Eagle U, has been so much a part of our life, and we love it. And we love everybody that works for the Crown Council. And you guys are just great.
Thank you.
big family.
Yes, it is a big family. Mhm.
Well, I love you both. We those experiences that you had, and I can't imagine how many people you've experienced Dominican trips with. Your circle must be so big of memories, but I cherish the time that we've spent together. I'm so grateful for everything that you've done as leaders and as friends, as a couple that I look to with great faith. I just am thankful for both of you. So thanks.
As we are you.
Yes, likewise.
We're going to continue doing this as long as God allows us.
I can't, well, when I present you with the 25th Humanitarian Trip Award, I can't, it'll be great. All right, you guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate you both.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and have a very blessed and Merry Christmas,
Yeah,
Stu.
take care.
Merry Christmas. That was maybe at a different time of year, but super grateful for them. Grateful for the Bainers and thankful especially for their advice to me and to the rest of the Crown Council membership. So fun to hear from them. And grateful that you would join us today on the live stream. We're looking forward to the next couple weeks of joining you on this program. Next week, we're going to have a regular scheduled program. And on the 31st, we're going to have a recorded webinar or a live webinar with Steve called How to Deal with Scary Patients. Super fun topic for Halloween. I've tried to encourage Steve to dress up, so maybe we'll even get some fun costumes for the 31st. But we'll be back next week. And then on the 31st, you got to register and join us live over on the GoToWebinar platform, where we're going to do a more formal webinar and educational day on our normal time. So thanks for joining us today. Grateful for Rectangle Health that joined us live. And as always, we are here. If you go to crowncouncil.com, you can chat with any of us on the chat feature. We're happy to help in any way we can. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.